Mike, let's get stuck straight into Reading. We saw them in action last night at Bolton. A good point for them. What have you made of them last night and throughout the season so far, and the challenge that they posed to us on Saturday?
I'll put them in a similar boat to us in terms of they've probably not got the points or results that they've deserved. Similar to us in terms of Noel has kind of stuck to his principles and values and beliefs on how he wants his team to play. They haven't really kind of fluctuated or differed, and I've got full respect for that. But look, it'll be a difficult game regardless of local derby, regardless of who's got points on the board and whatever else. That there is no easy game in this league, and there's a vast variety of styles that you have to come up against. And they'll be kind of buoyed from the fact that they've got a point on the board. It's a really difficult place to go. Bolton are going to be a very good team this year. You can see what they're trying to do in terms of the direction that they want to go in. So they'll be buoyant from the fact that they've got their first point on the board, which is a really difficult place to go and get a point as well.
Yeah, of course, they fell just short of the playoffs last year. We were in them. Many neutrals wouldn't have expected to see Wycombe and Reading at the wrong end of the table this early in, but I don't want to use the term false position, but certainly looking at the performances and some of the data from our games and some of the touches in the opposition boxes and shots and XG, I know there's a feeling around the place that actually we're doing better than maybe the points have suggested.
That's how I feel. But I think the false position bit is the reality is the reality. We've played 4 games, lost 3 and drawn 1. From my perspective, obviously results are important, of course they're important, but when I sit in this position and I'm trying to create something, I can't solely focus on that. I just can't. And I think in the first 2 games, if we're being honest, there was some periods within those games I thought we looked really, really good. And there was some periods in those games we didn't defend particularly well. I was disappointed with Doncaster, generally. I came away Tuesday completely bemused. Gutted, probably is the right phrase to use, for the fans more than anything. Because we want to be successful for them. They pay their hard-earned money to come to Adams Park, and we have a huge amount of respect for the fact it's their football club. And I was more gutted for them. I was gutted for the players, because I know how much effort they put in and how good they were in the game. When you take the emotion away from the result, they were actually very good in the game. So yeah, I was gutted for them Tuesday. But look, like I keep saying to everyone, Tuesday's gone now. We can't affect it. The bit that's really exciting for me is, and I'm going to say it because I know I'll get lambasted for it anyway. Everything away from that kind of the most important bit, which is the result, which I get. Everything away from that point is pointing in the right direction, and I'm really proud of the group. We've gone from, I don't know what we were last year, 15th or 16th in the table for possession to top or second. In terms of shots on goal or chances created, we're 4th. And I think the bit that's really exciting for the group and why the group have believed in this so much and continue to believe in this so much is how high our open play expected goals is. So it's not just possession for possession's sake, it's possession with a purpose, and we are getting into the final third. We are creating chances. The bit now is the kind of icing on the cake, which is that final bit, which in football is always the hardest bit. And it's something we're working really, really hard on. It's going to come. I have 100% confidence and 0 doubt that it's going to come.
Yeah, we've addressed the good data. I'm going to touch on some of the bad data. There has been a discussion this week, which has been the lack of first half goals, especially. Clearly not by design, but is it something that when you're setting up the team that you want a tight first half, you want to go and win it in the second half, or is it purely that the games haven't evolved in the way in that first half for those chances to come? Because we haven't had a lead in the game yet, we haven't scored a first half goal, and it is just something that's preying on some fans' minds at the moment. Yeah,
definitely. I think I'll separate last season and this season because I was really clear that last season there was a lot of things behind the scenes where there was a huge amount of success and I didn't want to change a huge amount, and I just kind of went with what was already happening behind the scenes. There was probably a feeling that I changed a lot of things last season. The reality is, and I'm not going to go into all the detail, I don't feel I changed a huge amount. For whatever reason, the energy levels and the kind of performances started to flatline, and we probably didn't score as many goals as what they had done earlier in the season. July 1st was a line in the sand for me where I went, right, this is going to now be Mike Dodds, and I'm going to be more authentic and true and real to myself. And I'm not going to keep banging the kind of style drum, but I think everyone can now see there's a completely different direction. So I'm going to park that kind of campaign that I'm pushing on. So I'm parking that now. I think everyone can see that. I think there is also a piece in the opening 4 games where, in particular, a couple of them where when we have so much control and we start to control the ball, teams then go and sit in against us. So I think that is a piece that we need to obviously overcome internally in terms of how do we break the opposition down, how do we create more chances in the first half. And I think the players have felt this, and a couple of the senior lads have said this to me as well, is because we are now making more passes than we ever done, we're having more possession than what we've ever done as a football club, teams are now tiring. And what happens when teams tire? They make poor decisions, and when they make poor decisions, that's when more opportunities come. So hence the reason probably why the second half looks different to the first half. I want to make it really clear, that's not excuses, that's just me blurting out what's in my head at the moment. But I'm not lost to the fact that we said it after the game Tuesday as a little bit of a joke of staff, like, is there any chance we can just score in the first half, please? So it's not something that we're not aware of, and it's not something we're not working on, and we are definitely not setting up to be more cagey. Let's make that really, really clear. But yeah, it's something internally we're going to continue to look at. Is there a massive difference in terms of what we're doing first half, second half? No, the message is not different. But that is something that we are aware of and we will address.
Obviously, the mood as we left Adams Park on Tuesday was one of frustration. There was the real signs of was concern for you as well, in terms of you looked absolutely gutted when the goal went in. I think that was commented on TV. Just I think the disbelief at how that game had gone away from us. But flipping that mood now towards a buoyant atmosphere on Saturday, it'll be a sold-out away end. What impact can a positive crowd now have for this team to try and lift them to go and get that first win?
Yeah, I think, listen, I was gutted because I just didn't see them scoring, and how the goal goes in is, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. And I go back to my point, I'm gutted for the fans more than anything, because we're just so close to being really, really good. And I think that the frustration bit is, I can live with all those bits, like, I'm completely comfortable in that that kind of arena, but the fans are going to be a huge part of this. They're going to be a massive part of this. They're going to be a massive part of Saturday, regardless of what happens Saturday. We know that we have to win games of football to bring them on the journey with us, and at the moment, first kind of 4 games or 5 games, but 4 league games, we haven't done that. But when we do start doing that, and we start winning games and start playing the way we're playing, it's going to be a really exciting time for them, and we're doing everything we possibly can to make sure that happens. I'm really sat here relaxed, confident, really enjoying the role, really enjoying what we're creating. Life will become easier with 3 points, but we're working really, really hard on that. We're working hard, and we are so close to giving the fans something to cheer about.